What are the differences between entrepreneurs and business lawyers? This is an important topic. We recently did a video on this channel talking about how to interview your lawyer. And one of our more popular videos is what is a corporate lawyer? What does a corporate lawyer do, right? These are the types of things that people are often thinking about. And I think it's important to stop for a moment and think about the difference between the typical business lawyer and the entrepreneur. There's a big difference probably in risk tolerance and style. So your typical lawyer obviously is thinking about risk all the time. We are taught to think about risk. That's something that comes from our law school training and from our background. But the typical entrepreneur is thinking about managing risk and balancing risk and upside. And so the two of those fit together nicely if the relationship's working. What you want to, in that interview process, what you want to do is have a good conversation with your lawyer about whether there's somebody who just points out risk and says no, or whether they help you understand and balance the risk. Now, of course, there's boundaries of how far the lawyer can go and what they can advise you to do and what they can't. But do you have a teammate who's going to work with your risk tolerance and help you adjust your business to the way you want it to proceed? Or are you working with somebody who's going to be a naysayer, right? And this is where a lot of the frustration I see comes out. People start saying, hey, my lawyer just says no to everything, or we can't find a way, versus working with a lawyer who's a potential problem solver, who listens to your goals and objectives and says, what are you trying to accomplish here? Where are you trying to go with your business journey? What do you want this particular transaction to produce for you? And if you get those kind of details down, then potentially that lawyer can help you do better in the transaction, right? You got to have the information. They got to know where you're coming from, but then they also have to have that problem-solving mindset. And where do you figure out whether that's going to work and whether it's going to work that way? Well, a lot of that ties back to that relationship that you're building in that initial interviewing process, right? Are you guys on the same page? Are you thinking about the same way? Do you think about business and life in similar ways, or are your styles and personalities so far apart that it's not going to work? There's no right and wrong answers here, as we know, but understanding where we're at and understanding who we're working with and how the relationship's going to fit together is going to lead to a much better potential for success. So put a lot of time into talking about risk, talk about risk tolerance, talk about the philosophy on risk, and I think that will lead to a much better outcome for you. If you're interested in business and business law, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, drop your comments below, but don't put anything confidential in the YouTube comments because they are publicly visible. So I will look forward to reading what your questions are, maybe potential topics for future videos. And of course, make sure you check out our whole library of past videos. I'll see your comments there too. All right, folks, I'll be joining you for another video very soon.